An early taste of summer here in mid-May across central and eastern Kentucky with some warm and humid conditions, but it's been dry. Now, Friday is a weather impact day. It looks like our chances for strong to severe thunderstorms really ramping up, and all modes of severe weather are going to be possible, unfortunately, this go-around. The good news is it won't last long. Things should quiet down a bit into the upcoming weekend. We've had a pretty decent day. When you stepped out, you could feel the humidity to go along with the warmth. A few scattered clouds here and there. We got that warmer air in the mid-levels kind of suppressing or capping the thunderstorm development this far east. Not the case out into far western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, but as these things move a little farther to the east, they are beginning to weaken out, although a lot of the data showing the potential of some additional development during the late evening and more so overnight hours, and anything that pops up that could impact how things play out tomorrow afternoon. So it'll be a very fluid situation. Low end level 1 here this far east, the main action up to our northwest and out to our west with levels 2 and 3. Checking out Mount Sterling, Montgomery County. Good bit of sunshine. How about that? 82 degrees. Winds out of the southwest at about 10 to 15, just pumping in the warmth and also the moisture. Jackson County near McKee at the Mesonet site, 80 degrees there. So as expected, we've seen afternoon highs surge into the low to mid 80s, and the humidity levels higher than they have been in a while. Anytime the dew points are above 60, starts to feel muggy. You get upper 60s to around 70. That's really your summer-like feel. And so the table's set in that regard. There's your frontal boundary with those storms there in parts of Arkansas and Missouri. A lot of severe weather closer to that low into Minnesota and Wisconsin. And the dynamics coming together, unfortunately, for a severe weather outbreak possibly tomorrow with our weather impact day. Our window tomorrow afternoon into the overnight, especially out into eastern Kentucky. And as we mentioned, everything's on the table this go-around with damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, and even the potential for some flooding with the heavy rain. So let's time this thing out here. Everything quiet. Again, in-house data trying to pop off a few little isolated showers through the evening, but it's trying to pick up on maybe a cluster to our north and then another one down to our south in the morning. But again, the setup is such that it shouldn't take much for the atmosphere to recover into the afternoon. And as that happens, this is what you don't want to see. These little individual cells out on their own, those are supercells or would be, and those have a tendency to be more efficient tornado producers, and we could get some spin-ups within one cluster that may move through, and then another one develops right on its heels and slides through the area before we finally begin to wind things down during the overnight and into Saturday morning. And to that end, look at the severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center for Friday and Friday night. Not often around here do we see the orange and especially the red. The red is level 4 out of 5. And it's been a while, about a year or so, since we've seen that here in central Kentucky. And the Storm Prediction Center generally does not put out the level 4 unless they're fairly confident in the setup for severe weather materializing. So to that end, just be prepared as we head into the day tomorrow. The tornado threat here in the bluegrass, back to the west. So that is, again, a legitimate possibility tomorrow. Winds across the board and strong winds at that, like 70, 75 miles per hour possible if we get those clusters or squall lines moving through. And if you remember a week ago today, we had some large hail down in southern Kentucky. Lexington westward has a more favorable potential, but any of these that develop may cause some issues. This is probably one of the better opportunities as far as on paper of, again, some legitimate severe weather that we have seen so far this spring. So, of course, we'll be here to keep you posted. Download our ABC 36 weather app. Weather radio works as well. Again, just heads up and stay weather aware into the day on Friday. Warm and muggy, storm chances, a few overnight, 70, breezy warm. The severe severe chances more so later in the day tomorrow, and we'll be out of it by Saturday morning with just a lingering shower or two down south. Rest of the weekend, early next week, look pretty good with our next chance of organized rain and storms coming Tuesday night into Wednesday.